Welcome to the debate. Today we're diving into, well, one of the most unexpected stories in the NFL right now, the Carolina Panthers. I mean, after a horrific 1-3 start, including that just embarrassing 42-13 loss to the Patriots, they now sit at 8-7. They're actually poised for their first division title run since 2015, riding a 7-4 streak in their last 11 games.
Which brings us to the central question, really. Is quarterback Bryce Young's performance over the last 3 games, it's been his best football of the season, no doubt. Is it a real sustainable shift in his career? Or is this just an unsustainable hot streak?
That's the debate. I'm going to argue that what we're seeing, this statistical surge, it points to a genuine and sustainable functional improvement. He's figured something out.
And I'm going to take a more cautious approach. I think that while the recent momentum is impossible to ignore, 3 games is it's a tiny slice of the season. It's not enough to overcome the weight of the struggles we saw during the first 11 games.
See, I think it's more than just stats. It's a functional breakthrough. In these last 3 contests, Young has completed 67.1% of his throws, 51 of 76. He's thrown for 6 touchdowns, and this is the crucial part, 0 turnovers. His clean sheet on turnovers now stretches 5 consecutive games. More tellingly, he's only been sacked 5 times. That's not a fluke. The sacks dropped because he is trusting his primary read and getting the ball out way faster. That is a massive improvement.
Okay, but I'm just not convinced because that line of reasoning seems to just dismiss the totality of the first 11 games. That initial sample size shows a 62.7% completion rate, 15 TDs, sure, but a staggering 13 turnovers. 9 interceptions, 4 lost fumbles. He was taking 20 sacks in that span. And a lot of those were, panic sacks born from hesitation. And look, the team itself has this chronic issue of not being able to string together 2 straight wins. That points to an underlying instability that puts Young's recent numbers at a very high risk of just collapsing.
But the comparison between 20 sacks in 11 games and 5 sacks in the last 3, that demands a different perspective. That dramatic reduction shows a tangible improvement in both his protection and his own execution. The clean sheet on turnovers proves he can manage the game successfully against good opponents, like the Buccaneers. This isn't just luck, it's maturation under pressure.
But maturation has to be proven against the league's elite. Come on. The initial 13 turnovers were an alarmingly high rate. This efficiency you're praising now has to face the 12-3 Seattle Seahawks this Sunday, which is arguably the toughest defense he will have seen during this entire turnaround. Can he sustain a 0 turnover rate and handle elite edge rushers without going back to that hesitation that led to those 20 early sacks? That game is the real litmus test, not the last 3.
See, the competition argument misses the point a little bit. He's correcting the errors that were entirely within his own control, regardless of who was on the other side of the ball. And what's more, we're seeing a versatility that suggests Dave Canales' system is finally clicking. Those 6 recent touchdown passes, they went to 4 different players across 3 positions. Receivers McMillan and Coker, running back Hubbard, and tight end Sanders. That shows diversified trust in scheme effectiveness. The system is finally helping the quarterback instead of forcing him to play hero ball.
That is a compelling point on the distribution. I'll give you that. But if the scheme is truly clicking now, why did it take 12 weeks to see this effect? We keep coming back to the fundamental issue. If the team structure still suffers from this erratic win-loss rhythm, the quarterback's individual stats are always going to be vulnerable to regression. You just can't separate Bryce Young's performance from the systemic volatility of this Panthers roster.
Ultimately, the evidence of his recent efficiency, that 67.1% completion rate, the minimized impact with only 5 sacks, and the production, 6 TDs plus 92 rushing yards, it all provides the data to trust that Young is on the way up. He has functionally corrected the critical, self-inflicted errors that plagued him early on, and that should give everyone confidence for this final division push.
The recent data is impressive. Yes, I'm not denying that. But the foundational challenges of the early season and the historical struggles this team had to overcome just to get to 8-7, that demands some intellectual prudence before we declare he's suddenly elite and this is sustainable. The tension between that large, inconsistent 11-game sample and this small, high-performing 3-game sample, well, that remains the core challenge for the Panthers. Evaluating Young really requires balancing both the positive trend lines and the bigger picture of the team's ongoing inconsistency.